Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, hello.
We're going to have to podcast real quickly because I might fall asleep during the podcast.
We're boring her, apparently.
No, I feel like, you know how yesterday, so we just got back from our cross-country trip, and I had to drive to Columbus. So our flight landed, we took the red eye at 5:20 a.m., and I had to leave to go to Columbus. And I thought the drive back from Columbus is going to kill me. I'm never going to make it. I did so good, but tonight
it's all catching up.
I'm fading fast.
Like you need to just go to bed at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Get like a good night's sleep.
I do.
Yes.
It's something.
Yes. How was your trip? Tell us all about it.
It was so nice. I think everyone once in their life should take a little road trip across America to see our national parks and to see all the really cool things. A couple highlights for me and one low light.
Okay.
Did not like one thing.
Go.
So we were driving out. We made it 17 hours the first day. But on the way, I have a friend who lives in Iowa. And we had kind of like routed to her house because I'm like, she would totally let us crash at her place. Mm-hmm. She has 4 boys. So I didn't even tell her anything about it. And looking back, I could have figured out where she was and we could have totally surprised her.
That would have been fun.
But I'm like, what are you doing tonight? Like, would you have time with the boys to meet us for dinner? And she's like, actually, we have 2 baseball games for the 3 kids. They have a really nice like park where they play baseball. And she's like, but it's going to sound weird, but our concession stand's really good. You should probably come here. So we stopped. It was 5 minutes off the route.
That's awesome.
And we just got to catch up for about 30 minutes and watch her boys play. She has a set of twins who are playing on one diamond and then the next diamond was on the other. So she literally was going back and forth, watching pitch, watching bat, watching catch. It was wild. So that was really nice. So that was a real, just a fun thing to catch up with her. And let's see, so we drove then, this is a funny, so then we drove past there 3 more hours so we could get as far as we could. And then we stayed at a cute little, motel. Mm-hmm. So we didn't stay at like fancy places. We stayed at real like local yokel places.
But I think that's fun.
It was fun. Some of them were very outdated and there was something charming about it. Campbell, you are so weird. Campbell's recently collecting, what are they called?
They're weighted stuffed animals.
They are kind of cute.
They're adorable. Olivia and Campbell both have them. What? It is Olivia's fault.
Campbell's collecting a farm, all the animals. Except
Olivia has like a dragon one, but Campbell's got all the farm animal ones.
No sheep, because I said, no, you're not getting one of those. That's such a waste.
And now we think that they discontinued.
Well, now we think they're discontinued and she can't get one. So it's all my fault. So
have we looked recently?
I know we should look. It is my fault. So anyways, the drive was just great. We just had so much fun and we just stopped at really cool places. We drove through all the wrong streets in Vail because I was going to get a cup of coffee in Vail and we walked around downtown and we did not realize like the map was just telling us directions. Everywhere we were driving was meant for people only.
But you drove your car.
We drove our car through, but it was like a 7:30 in the morning and nobody said anything, but there were no people there either
to say anything.
There were a couple companies, like people working, they just like kind of looked at us, but we think they thought that we were supposed to be there.
Act as if.
So, and the coffee shop was closed. Oh. So I didn't get my cup of coffee in Vail. We went to a concert at Red Rocks. The guys went to a concert at the Sphere. They saw Dead and Company, which is not my jam.
It would have been mine.
That is not my people.
Wondering. Although Bill and I talked about it yesterday, and he said that, so I have always been, literally since I was in like middle school, I became a Grateful Dead fan, which is only funny because I don't know how I started getting into them, but they were already, Jerry Garcia was already dead. Like they were already well past
They're probably
their time.
Dead and Company then. Or were they?
No, I don't even think Dead and Company was a thing yet. This was like the 90s, but early 90s. But either way, like, so I know a really good amount of Grateful Dead songs. And Bill was saying to me that he was quite surprised because if you are like a real Deadhead and like, you know, just obsessed. We have a friend who like he loves Grateful Dead, Bill. And
you know, I like deadheading off my plant flowers.
She deadheads her plants. Not the same kind. They like a different kind of plant.
Oh my gosh, do they ever?
And so, but he said that they did not, he said if you were like a true Deadhead, you would have loved it. But if you mostly like their more commercial songs or the songs that are more well known, which is what your Bill and I would prefer, he said they didn't hardly play any of that. So like the songs that we would know, they didn't really play. But our other friend Bill, who loves Grateful Dead, that's why he loved the show so much, because it was like the not as well known tracks. So just kind of interesting. But I would have loved to have seen them.
I would have liked to see a concert, and I like John Mayer, and he was excellent. Now,
so yes.
And a concert at the Sphere, from the pictures, I mean, just totally amazing.
It's the experience. Like
it was like a couple million over budget, I think, when they
built it.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that.
Very cool. But that arena holds 18,000 people, 20 with standing room only, and Bill said it was full. Not standing room only, but
well, he was telling me that like this quote standing room only isn't really standing room only. Like it's still ticketed, or of course it's ticketed.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean. So anyway,
20,000 people.
Very, very envious.
And everybody definitely dresses the part.
I don't doubt that.
They wear lots of tie-dye and
I don't doubt that.
Overalls that are tie-dyed.
It was probably like a very psychedelic experience.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what I came to Vegas for. Yeah. Woo! I'm like, oh my goodness. I made lots of friends as I was walking away from the concert. I was walking away from the concert as the fans were coming to the concert. And then I just, hung in Vegas all by myself, and nobody will ever know what I did.
You went to my favorite restaurant.
I did. I went to Nobu. I sat at the bar.
Favorite
I
restaurant.
ordered a cocktail. I had a roll. I watched some basketball.
Oh, that's good.
I watched all the people on their little lovey-dovey dates.
You were probably, I would imagine there's not many people that show up single.
So there was actually.
Was there?
A guy right beside me.
Really? Did he hit on you?
No, he did not. No, he was like 65 years old, which actually is my bread and butter.
Got it.
And no, he sat there and he ordered the strangest things. Like he ordered like seared habanero peppers, and they smelled hot.
I wish I could remember.
A bowl of rice.
Oh, that is kind of weird.
Anyways, he was not super social. Very awkward.
One time, I forget where I was, a homeless guy hit on me, and I was so excited just to be hit on.
Did he actually hit you? He probably knocked you in the knee.
He just wanted
Give me your money, lady.
He wanted to tell me I was pretty.
Oh, that's nice. I don't like when anybody talks to me. This is weird though, because it's the exact opposite. You don't like to be touched or like.
No, but I want you to like
strange people to flirt with you. You want homeless men to. I forgot to record our little thing. It's gonna make my life difficult.
And we have to do it tonight.
We do. We're actually podcasting.
And for those of you listening, I am so sorry. I posted the podcast late last week. Thank
you, Shelly.
My fault. Tom, unfortunately, we had 2 deaths in our family last week. And so we had like a week of funerals. And I totally forgot, like just in all the chaos. And Kristin was not here to remind me. So it's really her fault.
Dana forgot to post the podcast, and she likes being hit on by homeless men. What about homeless women?
Not homeless, not necessarily homeless. I just want to be hit on. I just want to I don't know. I'm not going to do anything. I just like the attention.
This is so weird.
It's nice to be
you like it in Vegas.
Yeah. Well, no, in Vegas, it's kind of annoying, though. I feel like when you're walking down the street and there's all the people with the cards and they're trying to get you to go to the show.
Okay. Can we just talk about Vegas? Because you love Vegas.
I love it, but it's so trashy. I like certain parts of Vegas.
So while we were waiting in line for 1 hour to check in at Caesar's Palace.
Which I'm not a huge fan of Caesar's.
Well, we stayed there because it was affordable.
It was very inexpensive. And now my mother-in-law.
She loves it there. Actually, the room was super, super nice.
My mother-in-law loves Caesar's. It is not my first choice to stay, but in this scenario, you're going for one night. You needed a good deal. And really, Caesar's is a great location.
Listen, after the motels we'd been staying in, this was luxury.
For sure. And Caesar's is a great location. It's dead in the middle there. You can get to anything. I mean, everything is far. In Vegas, it looks like it's right next door, and it's like a half-hour walk. But, I love Vegas. You kind of have to, know where to go and where to stay away from, I feel like.
What's your favorite hotel in Vegas?
To be very honest with you, well, years ago, you're going to make fun of me. Years ago, I would have told you it was the Rio, which is off the strip, but every room was a suite. You could this was when it was still really nice. Voodoo Lounge was upstairs, had the best view of the strip in Vegas. It was my favorite hotel. We loved it there. But now we don't anymore. And we've stayed at Caesars multiple times, and it's fine. But more.
Do you like Aria?
We have stayed at Aria, and I did really. Didn't we love Aria when we went there? Yeah, we liked Aria. And where did we stay last time that we thought was pretty good? We were surprised. Oh, the Venetian. Yeah.
Well, the Venetian is nice.
We were surprised. Well, some of them are like Venetian's kind of older. Caesars is kind of older.
Bellagio.
Bellagio is, I think, overrated.
Well, you know,
I think
they have
overrated.
great shopping.
They do. But like,
Just kidding. Not that I could afford anything that was
so
there.
You asked me. You said if you could go to the Forum shops at Caesars, like where would you go? And it's like you just kind of walk through them. Like you can't. No one is going into like Gucci, Prada, like and Fendi. Like you're buying. I don't know. It's just whatever.
Jimmy Choo's.
Yeah, but I'm not.
I went into Tom Ford and I learned some things about layering my perfume. And the one scent that I really like. So Tom Ford is an amazing
the
perfume.
The only thing I own from these places is like not even sunglasses, like prescription eyeglasses because insurance covers them. Like
I do have a pair of sunglasses.
You have bougie sunglasses.
I do have bougie sunglasses.
That you bought in Disney World.
They were on sale.
You say that all the time, but
they
like,
were.
It doesn't
Listen, my
justify
husband got them for me and he said it was a good deal. And let me tell you, they fit my face really nice. I don't even know what brand they are.
They're Prada.
No. Well,
but
so I got them and I put them on and we were in Disney World and Dana was there too. And it didn't even, she sniffed it out. And I'm like, honestly don't even know what brand they are. They're like, just really nice. They fit my face.
And I mean, she must have just bought them like 5 minutes before. And
we bought them at the like corner place.
Yes. And I was like, where'd you get those sunglasses? Like I have
you
like
attacked me.
Olivia got me a new pair of sunglasses for Mother's Day.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Just a new pair of Gooders. They came out with a new style. Gooders are like my favorite and they're super, super cheap.
They're not that cheap.
$30.
Yeah, but I used to have a $12 sunglass limit.
Well, yeah, I mean, but Gooders.
Because I would lose them all the time.
Well, I do lose them all the time. So that's why I like these. But so yeah, that was really sweet of her. Okay, wait. You have to tell a story about. So throughout the week, I was getting like messages from Kristin.
Remind me this. Remind me that.
Yeah. Or like, just pictures of where they were. And I mean, beautiful views. Like we're sitting here in the rain all week and she's, absolutely.
It was lovely. But let me tell you, it was exhausting. We went hard.
I don't doubt it. I mean, actually, when Bill and I talked yesterday, he was kind of like giving me the rundown. And he literally said, he goes, I don't know that we could have fit anything else in.
We couldn't have. And I'm not sure for how many more days we could have kept up what we did.
Because I said we basically did the entire Midwest in one day, right? Like we did. We had a long haul. You wandered out west. Like that was a little more exploratory. But I mean, the Midwest, you knocked it out in one day. But so Kristin was like sending me like updates along the way, where they were eating, where they were staying. And then she was like, remind me to discuss this on the podcast. And it is regarding Bill.
We'll talk about the water first.
So tell the story.
So we had to get fuel, and I think we were outside of Vail because we needed fuel and something. Oh, water. We needed the water. We were going to go hiking, and we realized quickly when you're hiking, especially in that altitude, there is no amount of water that is enough water. And so we had packed water, and we had actually done really well on water, but we needed to buy another case of water. Mm-hmm. So we go into the gas station. I'm like, hey, we should refresh our ice because we packed some, like, I don't know, waters and we packed, I don't know, just like Red Bulls and like stuff like that. So we needed to replenish. So I had these 2 gallon-sized bags that I put one inside the other so we'd have everywhere we went just refilled with ice so we didn't get all of our stuff wet. So we go into the gas station and Bill's like, I'm like, we just need to buy a bag of ice, but the bag is so big, we'll just buy it and then basically leave the rest here.
Right.
And he's like, no, just go get it out of the ice machine. I'm like, out of the bag? No way. Like, at least let's buy a drink and put it in the cup. He's like, no, just go get a bag. They don't care. So I put my case of water on the counter and I'm like, do you mind if I put this here? And the guy's like, yeah, no problem. Well, when I left with Bill and Sam in the gas station. I'm walking back in with my bags and out comes Sam and he's like, turn around and leave. And I'm like, what is going on? He's like, just leave, walk the other way. Dad got into it with the guy at the gas station. I was like, are we kidding me? Like over the ice? And he's like, no, we didn't even get to the ice. It was over moving the case of water. Apparently he told me I could sit it there, but then he said very snarky, and Sam did say that he said it very snarky. I'm going to need you to move that water. And Bill, I guess, said, you move the water. So whatever happened, it didn't go well. And so we left without water and without fuel for our car. So,
or ice for that matter.
Or ice.
But I do want to say one thing regarding this. You might think I'm wrong. I agree with Bill, by the way. I would have just gone and filled the baggie with ice.
I don't think that they would have let you do that.
I would have just done it until they told me to stop.
Well, listen.
Wouldn't you have done it?
Can I only imagine what would have happened if he would have done that after he got mad after moving the ice water?
You would have to do it before you fight with the man regarding the water. But I'm just saying, like, what does the guy that works at the gas station care if you're taking ice? I mean,
I don't
seriously.
know. And it really, I didn't need that much ice. But anyways, that was the funny one. So Sam said, I didn't quite understand what was going on, but we're just leaving. So, and the next blunder was we are pulling into Vegas and we're ready to get out of the car. And because it had been about 4 hours, which is normal. Like a 4-hour drive was nothing after the first 16.
Right.
And all of a sudden we take the turn and Bill is driving. And I look at him. He's not on his phone. He is headed straight for like, what would you call it? Like a median in the middle of the road. We're not missing the median. I'm like, Bill. And he's like, whoa. So he cranks it to the left. We go up over the little, which is not that little, hump in the road, like a type of median, and into a parking lot. And by the grace of God, we didn't hit a car. We didn't get a flat tire. The funny thing is, he doesn't listen to the podcast, so it's fine. He already hit another median coming home from a rodeo, and we did have to get a whole new tire.
Recently. Like less
it could have
than
been
a couple
so
months.
bad. Like it could have raked the whole undercarriage of our car. We could have had to get a new tire. It could have like bumped the bike off the back.
And like, I just want to be very, very clear that this is one of those situations where if any other person living in that household did this, it would have been a real situation. But
it was something.
He did it.
But we were all okay, and it was fine. Between that and the driving out of Death Valley, which is a wonderful national park that I never want to go back to.
He told me he was actually nervous.
Oh my gosh. It was 6 hours of white-knuckle driving.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it was not like, it is a beautiful place. Hairpin turns, down, up. Like when the sign says, check your brakes, pull over and check your brakes, you pull over and check your brakes. Bill did not pull over and check his brakes.
He was very happy. He said he does not think that the brakes had they not replaced the brakes.
Oh my gosh. We would have been, at that point, there was nowhere to get brakes. There was a gas station that barely had electric. There was no getting brakes there. I don't even know what we would have done. And then, the sign says turn off your air conditioning for the next 20 miles because it was 111 degrees. And we're like, really? 20 miles?
It says that?
It says that. And they mean it. But I did not like the park for a whole different reason. First of all, we had hiked so many miles. And when I say hike, it's not like a path. Right. It is like uphill, downhill, through the snow at one park. I mean, it was intense. I was reading on my travel blogs, which had such good advice. They had to start talking about sidewinders.
What's that?
A snake.
Oh.
Snakes or sidewinders.
No.
So we're in Death Valley.
And Kristin...
I can't.
That is
can't
the
do
only
snakes.
thing I have ever seen you get like.
I don't even know what it's like to have a panic attack, but let me tell you, if a rattler would have been in my path, I'm not even sure what I would have done. I might have like freaked out and just like passed out.
The park by our house, and there was a little gardener snake.
I hate snakes.
I don't think I have ever seen you freak out about
the
anything.
only good snake is a dead snake. There was once a snake, a black snake, like going one snake across our road, blocking my mailbox. So I just got in my car and I drove over it like 27 times so I could get the mail. I killed the snake and then I scooped it off the road and threw it in the ditch.
I feel like that's excessive.
It was laying in front of my road in my mailbox for like 3 hours.
But like back and forth.
Oh, I had to make sure it was dead before I was getting close to it. I hate snakes. So at one point, Sam and Bill, like literally, because I'm like, I should never have read about it. Like, I'm sure there were snakes in the other parks I was in too.
Know, right.
But because it was so hot, it's like, watch out for the sidewinders. They're everywhere. So I'm like hiking because of the elevation and because of my nervousness. They left me. So then I'm like by myself. And I'm like, do I turn around? Well, if I turn around, then I'm really by myself if I get with snakes. So then I tried to press forward and then there was a couple coming behind me. So then I like walked faster because I'm like, well, maybe they'll help me if I get bit by a rattler.
Well, your husband wasn't going to, clearly.
No, I don't even think they paid one bit of attention that I was not behind them. Anyways, I made it out of the park, and then I said, I am not getting out at any more stops at this park because I cannot handle it mentally.
I am not.
So.
No. I would love to have taken this trip. Like, this sounds like an amazing trip. I do hope that one day I will be able to do something like that, but
it was great. We got to our final destination and we checked him in. Like his roommates were already there. Moved him into his house, which is beautiful. It is 1.5 miles downhill. You can ride your bike to the beach. The beach is gorgeous. We had a little burger. We said goodbye. He took us to the airport. We did get a car wash because we had to wash off all the, 2,500 miles of bugs.
I would bet that's a lot.
And we're pretty sure he's never going to get a car wash while he's there. So we had to get it done. But so yes, he's had his actually 2 days of work now. And I think he's really loving it.
Great.
So
great. That's super exciting.
It's an experience and we're out of time now.
Yes.
We didn't really talk about anything.
We didn't have anything else.
I really hope Bill doesn't listen to the podcast.
He'll be fine.
He's going to get mad at me for talking about his poor driving.
He should improve his driving.
Until next time, friends, we're Mismatched.